age-old legend handed down by the old people of the mountains while holding vigil in the cowshed or by the fireside in the evenings tells us of a long journey undertaken by Juan Barata, who left Agrimonte one day in autumn to go to the fair in Folletti to look for a red coral branch to cast off an evil spell. His daughter, Tecla, had suddenly fallen ill. She wouldn't eat. She wept all day long. She was getting thinner and thinner. She was fading away. The doctor had come on the back of a donkey from Bosco, only to say that it was a sickness he had never seen before. The priest had come from Canetola with his blessing, the Candlemas candle, and salt to fight off the devil. But still, she didn't get better. So Juan put on his Sunday suit, put some bread in his pocket, and said, "I'm going to call on Argia, the healer." Argia was very old. She had learnt the words from her mother on Christmas Eve. Knowing the signs and the words means speaking to evil spirits, devils, and witches. Knowing the words and chanting them to the evil spirits to persuade them to go away means entering another world. And Argia knew that the words were at once a blessing and a curse.
Come ho fatto a imparare? Perché ho imparato da mia mamma. Mia mamma era una vecchietta, anche lei a segnare. Poi diceva impara, impara. Guarda di imparare che non c'è nessuno che impara. Vedrai che un giorno tutti si sentiranno male. E allora io mi sono messa a segnare. Si segna quando la persona si sente male, che c'è un male, e altrimenti non si segna. Per esempio per il fuoco Sant'Antonio ci vuole le erbe di raglia, di mure, 3 foglie ma 9 pezzi. Si mettono sul male, si dice le preghiere e poi all'altra sera fa di nuovo la segnatura, 3 sere. Ma io delle volte faccio l'ultima sera per 2 volte, per non fare camminare troppo la persona. E ogni male che si segna, si deve segnare sulla calata del sole. Si dice a Gesù, Giuseppe e Maria, mettete le mani prima delle mie. E si fa il segno di croce e si dice le parole così.
The words must flow like water. They're released and shouldn't be interrupted. They mustn't be written down, apart from once, on Christmas Eve, in order to be handed down. The evil spirit has to be surrounded, but the circle must not be closed. You must allow it a way to escape. Otherwise it gets nasty and buries itself deeper under the skin and brings on death. And then you have to watch the moon in its quarters. Evil always returns at the same moon phase, and if you anoint during that phase, it disappears.
Per insegnare si deve sapere che luna l'è, non si mette la luna, ma bisogna stare attenti quel mese lì, quel giorno lì li prende come dentro. Insegnare quando si può.
Juan was afraid. He had never ventured very far from Agrimonte. His was a small world, its high and low limits being Monte Aguzzo and Canetolo as far as the river, and backwards and forwards as far as the tall beechwood on one side, and Cornelio on the other. He'd never been farther than that. He'd only heard things from wayfarers, their stories and fears. Those who had been out there had never returned. The village is a safe place, with little shrines at the crossroads to protect it, and the walls of the houses on the outer limits have statues of saints or faces on them to frighten off any evil spirits. Beyond these walls, beside the small potato fields, are footpaths leading to the grazing lands. There are some woods too, but they're safe. They're not threatening. Here and there are chapels dedicated to the more powerful saints. Being far away from the village, they have to have the power to keep away the witches and evil spirits, coming down from the mountains and emerging from the forest. The wolf shepherds, Lukabaja the witch, the noontide demon, and the souls of the dead transformed into luminous snakes. But beyond this, there is the unknown territory of the forest, which is no longer part of the human world.